We are recording. Avoid some shadows.
Yes, we are.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your fourth Ignite class. Your database is your business. I hope you guys all started your database. I'm going to try to make this interactive, so I know you guys are on mute. So at least somebody participate. So give me a thumbs up, something, so we can actually, you guys hear me. Well, I know everybody hears me right now, so that's not necessarily the case. But during this presentation, we're going to be going over your database. So it's your business. Well, let's start. What successful agents do every day? Basically, you have two different things in your business: grow your business and run your business. All you're running the business does not make you any money. Growing your business makes you money. Lead generation, making presentations, getting listings, doing buyer presentations, getting those listings, previewing real estate. That's where your money-making activities are going to take place. All the other stuff to run your business, it's part of your business. So it's not something you can avoid, but if you can get rid of this to somebody else, that will make you more money because you're going to be growing your business. So a little bit about me. I run out of my database just about every single day. Everybody that I have is in my database. I run two different databases. I run one for residential and I run one for commercial, and they are in two different spots. Command has a majority of my information, so any listings, people are in there, and I do notes in each of my databases. Probably more so on Command nowadays than I do on the commercial side. But there's everywhere to put that stuff into. The one thing I like about the commercial database tool that I have access to is that you can actually BCC every single email, and it stores your emails on a different server other than your Gmail or your Outlook, depending on what you're using. Because after with individual deals, the amount of emails that come in and out could be ridiculous sometimes, and the length of the emails. So this is something that you got to be doing every single day, increasing the amount of people you put in your database. So let's there. You guys got any questions about your database to start? Some things you guys want me to go over? So I am sure to cover it for you. Anything? Nothing? Crickets? Euler? I amuse myself. I tell my wife that all the time.
You got this, David. We're listening.
You know, I'm here for my amusement, right? So lead generation. Lead generate for buyers and sellers. What are you guys doing right now to increase that amount of people? Believe it or not, I had other people ask me over the weekend if they could take picture, or if they can have access to my listings and market their listings as their own, which I don't typically do. It's not one of my favorite things to do, especially if the seller finds out that you're letting somebody else list it. Yes, it gets out there further, but again, it doesn't control where the information comes from, and the information that goes out there is could not necessarily be correct. So for lead generation, a lot of my stuff is marketing myself out there, and running command ads. Right now, unfortunately, my command ads have not run for about 3 weeks due to Facebook. I keep getting errors in starting campaigns. There we go. Find the words this morning. Well, lead generation. What do you guys do? What are you guys doing right now for lead generation? You guys looking at Sphere? You guys have ads running? What are you guys doing?
Mainly Sphere for me.
I'm cold calling.
How's that going for you?
It could be better.
Cold calling is probably the worst thing to do. It's just nobody expects your phone call. And again, don't take it personally. You could be calling them at a bad time. You know, life gets in their way sometimes, and it does for me too. So when people cold call, I just don't have time to talk to them. It could be in the middle of a showing, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't have time for this. So what are your conversations like with these people? Victoria?
Some of them are pretty good. I met an older lady who sold her house and now she's living the party life. And she was going to Florida. She was gonna go to Poland. When I had called her, it sounded like she was in the middle of the club. So I agreed.
Are you calling for listings, buyers?
Both and expired.
So you called on let me get this right. You called on an expired, and she sold it, correct?
Yeah, she had already sold it, but the information was inaccurate because it was on ARC agent as still being for sale by owner. But when I called her, she sounded like she was in the middle of a party and she was super happy. She had sold her house already, and now she was basically going to go party with some of that money.
And what is she going to do? So, what is she going to do? Is she renting, living with people?
She's leaving Chicago and she was going to go to Florida. I told her I could probably help her find an agent out there in Florida. She said no, because she's not staying. She's going to be bouncing around.
Yeah.
That she doesn't want to be tied down to one spot anymore. She doesn't have any grandchildren, children, or anything like that here. So there's no need for her to be solid, like stay right here in Chicago or stay anywhere else for that matter. She can live her best life. So she was really fun.
The other question is did you ask her who else do you know that's looking for real estate?
Repeat that, David. I couldn't
Who else do you know that's looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate?
I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to do, is find people to buy, sell, invest, or rent.
No, did you ask this person that question?
I did. I asked her if she needed help, that I was a buyer's agent as well, or if she needed me as a rental agent, that I can help her still, even though she had sold her house already. Mm-hmm. And she said she does not need the help.
Well,
I couldn't really force her.
Sometimes it's just easier asking who else do you know that's looking to sell, not necessarily asking them, do you need help with this or that?
I think she was drunk when I called her. I really do, because she was, I'm telling you, the background, everything spoke for where she was at. So.
What time did you call her?
I called her at 2:30 in the afternoon. So I don't know. It was very fun. She was fun.
Who else do we have on here? Who else wants to talk? Or I'll call on people. Oh, Chris.
Yes, I'm actually just starting right now. I haven't done my MLS yet. I just basically just did paperwork about a week and a half ago. I was waiting for my my license. I mean, the IDFPR, and now today I'm applying for the insurance, for the brokerage insurance.
Broker insurance.
I mean the Main Street.
Okay, the board. You're applying at the board.
Yes.
Okay, so this doesn't prevent you from lead generation.
Whoever I'm running into, basically, I'm mentioning that I'm real estate right now, friends and family, and going to the gym, going out, talking to people, what they do for a living, if they're basically looking to invest right now currently, if they're trying to move out to a different city or to a bigger house, smaller house.
Chris, who do you know right now that you have a name, phone number, and an email for? Is there somebody on your phone that you have all three for that you can stick in a database?
Yes, I do.
So just start working on that. Put it in an Excel file, either first name, last name, phone number, address, and an email. that way now you already have your sellers list, because eventually they're going to, either they're going to know their neighbors are going to sell, but you want to keep in contact with them, put them on a smart plan. That's where you're going to be starting to do this. Well,
Okay.
this is why we're discussing different aspects of your business. So, we get cold calling. It's not the most funnest thing to do for people. It's rough. If you
Yes.
have that information of people who know, like, and trust you, that's where you want to start.
Got it.
And again, who knows, when you're working out at the gym, people, now it's really dead at the gym. There's not that many people as there used to be. But
Actually, there's still a lot right now too. Yeah. I was shocked actually. For the past week and a half, it's been getting packed.
it depends on what time you're going.
Yeah, that's true. True.
We probably go at different times.
Yep.
I am there I think I got there at 5:20 this morning.
Oh no, I go 5 p.m. when everybody just leaves work, and usually those people are, most of them have good jobs and stuff like that. That's why kind of, they leave that kind of hours of the day and they come to the gym, and it gives me the opportunity to talk to them, and I know most of them, so it makes it easier for me to basically ask them personal questions as well too.
Oh, and I can understand that, but sometimes for me personally, and in the evenings, if you have kids, if you have families, it's difficult. 4 of the last 5 days in the evening, I had other stuff to do. So I come home at 8 o'clock. I don't have that time for myself where I like to work out. And so it's different for everybody. If you don't have that family, if you don't have the life and everything, the demands and household demands, it's a lot easier to do. But again, you gotta do what you feel is best at that time.
Okay.
So start working on that. There's no rule saying you can't work on putting anybody in an Excel file. Because again, we'll work. Mariella will work with you putting everybody in command. You could, and then you can start running smart plans on them, just to keep in touch with them, and then to tell everybody that you're in real estate.
Perfect.
Anybody else?
Hi, this is Shaban.
Ben?
Yeah, my name is Shaban.
Shaban.
Quick question for you, please.
Sure.
Now, I know how to talk like to my friends and family, but my question, how to talk to strangers? I have like buyers, but for me, I want like get sellers. Which is like the best way to get sellers?
And again, it's everything. It's starting your smart plans, and just like I was telling Chris, who do you know right now that currently owns, and putting them in a database, where Victoria was cold calling expireds. Those are all people who, expireds, and right now you should be looking at expireds probably not in the last 6 months. Look for expireds that are years old. And then, verify them, I'd verify them to see that they sold the house, because a lot of them will sell afterwards to another party. They'll just reach out to them after it goes it goes expired, and they'll just call them and see if they'll sell the property to them individually. And then you could do that as well. There's scripts for cold calling. Again, I'll preface this about do not call lists. Make sure that they're not on a do not call list. Blah. You should, because otherwise, what are the fines on here? 20, 25 grand, something like that on top end. Sound right, Nicole?
Yeah, like 25 grand.
Sounds about right.
And again, has it happened to anybody that I know of? No. Typically, when I've done that in the past, I've apologized, and I still ask them, who else do you know that's going to sell, wants to sell, buy, or invest in real estate? And then I put them on then I don't call them back. It all depends on how that conversation goes. Sometimes if they get defensive, I do get defensive when people call me, have we done business in the past? And usually I hear click, phone go dead pretty quickly. That usually tells you if they should be calling you or not. So I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you.
So what is a database?
Nothing if you don't look at it.
Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome. I'm here all day.
You amuse me, Nicole. The big picture. That a well-tended database produces leads. A powerful database managed by a powerful schedule produces a predictable flow of leads. So that means the more often you look in your database, the more often you send communications to your database, the more likely it is that that database will, hey, the neighbors start talking. Some people like to live. Well, here, let me back up a little bit. Because this just popped in my head. So with your database, and if you want to be in a specific area, it also helps to know the velocity of the market. Like in Park Ridge, here where we reside, our business, the velocity is, last time I ran it, was 4.3%. Out of the houses that are on market in a given year, 4.3% will sell. That is slow. You want, mid single digits, high single digits. You want 7 to 10% of velocity in the market. People in Park Ridge have a tendency to die in their house. I hate to sound like that, but they just buy a house and live here forever. So velocity in the market does help with the more leads. If you're in a market like this, expect it to go slowly, or you're going to be spending a high dollar amount to get those leads that are on market currently. Living records of business relationships. I think Alan, who was an agent in our business here, he was doing a lot of reaching out to local markets. Market meaning, what I mean by that is local businesses. So if you're in a market in the neighborhood, Logan Square, let's use that for example. Go to the local businesses, create powerful videos for them, and tag them in their businesses. So that when people look at them, I know Alan's still doing it, isn't it? Or it's his business kind of taken off, and he's kind of put that on the side, didn't he?
He is still doing it. Virginia's, his market is a little different, so he's more personalized.
But that's how he started out, and he was getting some traction until
totally.
And then people are recognizing you. It's just you got to get on camera. For those people that are a little camera shy, unfortunately, our business is turning that way where you can't be. I don't mean to sound like that, but unfortunately, that's what it is. Help nourish and manage relationships. So again, this is where you go into the database, talking to your database, reaching out to them, on a quarterly, at least on a quarterly is what the KWRI says. The more you reach out to them, the more likely they are to send out information to you. And again, the more you reach out to people, the more you're going to know who are the social people that are going to refer people to you. And maybe you don't need to contact everybody in your database every quarter. Maybe you'll reach out to them once every 6 months, once a year, because they don't necessarily give you the amount of leads that this certain small little percentage of your database do. So you want to find your 100, 200 people who are going to be your advocates. The more advocates you have, the better off, the more referrals you're going to get to people. And that's how it produces predictable flow of business. The more often you reach out to your sphere, the more predictable. And again, you'll improve strengths, relationships, and you'll be able to offer more value the more business you do. And we kind of saying the same things. So again, this is kind of where I was talking with Chris, right? Name, contact, past business, and at will communication. Circling the wrong screen, guys. Forgive me. I'm working off of 2 screens here. You're essential. This is the essential information that you need from everybody. And you want to be putting in information on a daily, weekly basis into your database. The more, if you put in one a day for the next year, it's 300 names. Next year, you'll have 700. Year 3, you'll have almost over 1,000 people in your database. You want to obtain permission, collect personal information, insights, preferences, segment the groups. So again, where did you meet these? For Chris, you meet these people at the gym. Tag them. You met them at the gym people. What else do they like to do? Out of the gym, do they have family? Do they have kids? Are they in the school? What school are they in? Because school information is big. PTO, I get PTO emails on Friday nights, and then I know how to segment my week, and my son knows how to segment his week for that following week. Because the school emails just, should be like this long, but they're so darn long with so many words. And you can automate this. Automating this stuff in Command is very easy. And then it's just easier to do this over time. The more often you do this, the more you keep in touch with these people, the more, my words are escaping me this morning. The more they're going to know that you are the person for information. Why are we going to use a database? Any comments? Why should we use a database?
Because it's very easy to let money fall through the cracks, and then when you find out that your friend sold to somebody else because you didn't keep in touch with them, you will be sad.
And again, that can happen because they used a family member. That is the typical line. How do you know your family member is the best person to help you buy, sell, or invest in real estate? If you want to cut them a bone, and you're going to trust them with the biggest transaction of your life, I don't know if I'm willing to take that big of a risk. Avoid the today trap and a predictable return on investment. Well, that's what ROI means, if you're curious. There are 2 types of business: today's and tomorrow's. Without a database, your business has only been built for only for today. I don't know what problem is this morning. Feels like a little lag here. Why use a database? Touched on that. So out of 65 people, 35 out of all these people that are in your database currently right now, only 65 of these are homeowners. The other 35 are not. Again, circling the wrong page, forgive me. So, and then you got these that are not. And out of the 65, 7 of those are ready to actually buy. They're going to look for something else to sell today. And you want to segment your database into who's ready, who's not ready, how hot of a lead are they. So your rentals, if you're going to do rentals, you have those 35 who are might be your friends, but they rent. And again, you want to know when their lease is up. So when should I be calling them? A month or 2, probably 3 months before their lease is up. Hey, I know we had a conversation on, renting. Are you still going to stay in the place you're at, or you're going to look for somewhere else? Again, it's also a conversation to have if they're looking to buy a piece of real estate. If they don't want to rent anymore, they actually want that home equity built in over time. Do they want, and your sellers? Not everybody's, like I said, in Park Ridge, the turnover is 4.3%. So out of 100 houses, only 4 are going to be, let's just say 4.5 are going to be ready to sell. That's not very much. And here we're talking, we typically want more than that. The more people you're dealing with, the more likely you are to get that business. When it's a 4 out of 100, what are the odds that they don't know somebody in their family is doing that business? So you want to make sure to more people that you're talking to, the more likely you are to be their person, their go-to person. you know, you want to take advantage of that return on investment. So again, if we're in a 4.3, now you're going to need to get that decent returns. You need 200 people for every get that business that you want to be. So if you want to double that, now you're at 8%. So it's 8% for 100 people or 8% for 200 people. You got to take that cost of right now. If there's under 5,000 people in your database, you can email relatively free, I believe. And if we get over that, now there's an additional cost in your business for from MailChimp for doing your emails or Command for doing your emails. But again, every dollar you invest in your database, you know, you want to get that return. The higher return you get, the more money that's in your pocket. I don't know if you guys read the MREA book, but again, it's dollar in, how much do I get out? And that's what we want to be looking at on a daily, weekly, quarterly, and yearly. See how much we actually saved in the end of the year versus spent. Why use your database? To take advantage of predictable ROI. 3 important considerations. Low lead cost. Low lead cost, again, if we do get a listing, and we're the seller's agent, we want to run command ads. If we want to run command ads, how much are we going to spend on a weekly basis? And are we going to follow up with those leads? And how many leads does it generate? Because a lot of times the numbers that they count in command is that it doesn't matter if they talked to you a week ago or a month ago, it's another lead, and you're going to see in there, oh, I already contacted them. They're in my database already. And again, your cost is going to change over time because you're going to have multiple leads that are going to be clicking on all different stuff that you have listed. Did I confuse anybody with that? Do I need to explain it differently? I guess not, so we'll continue on. Lowest cost conversion. When properly built and maintained, a database will actually end up producing its own leads in the form of repeat clients and referrals. That's kind of the goal, is always repeat clients and referrals. The more we repeat clients and referrals, the less we're spending on command ads, the less we're spending on marketing, advertisements to bring in leads. If again, command is, we're saying somewhere between $1 to $3 per lead. Again, it's just making sure that those people are in your database, are being communicated to you. Again, that's what smart commands are for. I hate to, I don't hate plug command. It's actually a good tool. You have to spend that money, and how much are you going to spend per cost? And the database will pay for itself. So that one lead that you already put in there that you might have paid, let's say $3 for it, and they're giving you leads off of there, you keep in contact over a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis, then it actually starts paying for itself. If they gave you 2 different people, 2 of their friends are looking for properties to buy or invest, now all of a sudden, how much does that one lead cost you? Nothing. You might buy a nice gift for your person that's sending that lead, but that's much cheaper than trying to acquire new customers. Developing your database. Get it constantly, segment it into groups, engage with touch campaigns, and it over time. So prospecting, we kind of touched on a little bit of prospecting. Money intensive. So what's going to be money intensive? All your individual marketing ads. If you're listing single property, multiple properties, the highest expense I find is mailers. Mailers by far are expensive, and it's just per individual lead. They're expensive, but it could, depending on the neighborhood you're in, they could be relatively expensive from the cost of a single family house or condo to, if you're in a higher end neighborhoods, they might be pretty darn cheap. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put you guys on a pause here for a minute.
Wait, David, we can't hear you, buddy. You're muted.
I know I'm muted. Give me a second.
Okay.
Who's got questions? Who's got answers?
Strength. I was looking to see if his deterioration occurred rapidly.
I apologize for that. So where do we leave off? Money intensive, passive. So we want our prospecting to be more passive. And we get more the more passive it is, the less money we're spending on it, the more the long-term results will come out of it. I know Nicole asked if there's any questions. Is there any questions to this point?
I got no questions, David. You could go ahead.
All right.
Have fun.
Where are some of these tags that we were talking about earlier? Relationship tag, someone who hasn't done any business yet. Activity, active client, past client, someone who's referred somebody to it. And again, this is something you want to keep. You want to keep the referrals in there as well. Who referred them to you? Because just imagine that. So you have you refer a client to me, and then I call that client, take care of that client, and then I call them back and say, hey, you know what? I appreciate you referring this client to me. And I sent you a nice little gift. And imagine now, 2 years down the road, that other person that has referred somebody to you has referred 3 other people. Now imagine making that phone call. Now you make 2 phone calls. You make one to the first person who referred him to, and then that original person who referred him to. Now, hey, thanks for referring this client to me. This client referred this nice young couple to me who bought a house, and I want to thank you for that. So now you're thanking multiple people down their line to show your appreciation for what they have done for you. Well, hobbies, interests, like Chris was saying with the gym. You know, what other things you like to do? Where else do you like to go? Meetup is a great place to find different interests and activities. You want to go to wine drinking. You know what? Again, that's something you could do. Property types, location types. So if you wanted to be in Hyde Park in Chicago, if you want to be in Logan Square, you want to be in Uptown, again, you know, you could segment that database as much as you want or as little as you want. You know, if you want to be an expert in one area, you know, you can refer that information. You can refer those other people out. You know, it doesn't hurt you if you don't know where Hyde Park is and what's going on in Hyde Park. You can refer that out to other people. There's no harm in that. That might help your business. Investors, vendors, who's looking for apartments. Apartments are kind of one of the easy things, but again, commercial real estate, it's very numbers orientated, and we have a tendency to do business a little bit differently than we do on the residential side. Also, your vendors. You know, you could get. I know one of my mortgage bankers trying to get me more referrals because I keep referring people to him, and he feels bad. He's like, I'm trying them, and anybody who doesn't have an agent, I'm trying to get them over to you, because again, the more referrals you get to certain vendors, the more likely they are going to refer customers to them too, because they're going to all of a sudden go to the mortgage banker first and not necessarily go to the agent to see what they qualify for. You could do this with different color tags. So there's all sorts of stuff you can do. I do use these color tags as well. I use purple, some reds. It all depends on how different I want to make them. Leads and contacts. So what kind of different plans you want to do? Quarterly calls. You know, and again, you could segment this down as much as you want. If certain people are making you more business, you might want to put them on not on a quarterly, on a monthly. Because if they're referring business to you on a regular basis, you're going to be calling them to thank them. I hope you guys are. 12 touches, market reports, emails, newsletters, videos, promotional, anything you want to do. You know, that's all available to you. Magnets, calendars, and also invite them to an event that you're planning. Right now, a lot of people are doing pies, you know, so give pie giveaways. It's not necessarily an event. We're not really doing many events right now. And again, what do you want to do for contacts? Connect by permission or because you know them. They are interactive on a value basis. So what do you want? Do you want to send them stuff? Do you want to send them also through email or direct mail? So either way, you could do all this stuff. There's one way to tend your database. 1, build culture around testimonials and reviews, regular updates, and prune your database. So, and this is where I mean pruning your database is who's referring leads to you. If you got again, you want 100 to 200 people constantly referring information to you. And then there's people who might never do it. And then there's people who will never do it. They might know people, but they will still never recommend you. That's just, unfortunately, that's just the way they're built. And you know what? There's nothing you can do. Hand it over time. Recaps and aha. So any ahas? Okay, so let me ask you some more direct questions. What you guys are currently doing, is any of this going to make, is anything going to change in the way you're currently doing stuff? You guys don't feel anything different about this? We'll just continue on. What you want to do is you want to set some goals. 10 contacts added per day, conversations per day, handwritten notes. And you guys, you can start with handwritten notes, especially with people you talk to, especially for like, is Victoria still on here? Even the cold calls. Thank you for taking my phone call. Please keep me in mind anytime you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and send it to them. You should have an address for them, and just send it off to them. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys can go to Target, pick up the you guys can pick up the regular thank you from Target. I still have some of these old ones, and then I have specific ones for Keller Williams, my name on there. So write the stuff on the inside and send them off to them. It doesn't, and these things were from Vistaprint, and they're relatively cheap. Work on your scripts. Lead gen. Are any guys going over script practice? I know we had one this morning. It was what is it? Scripts and role play. Anybody jump on that call?
I did it.
No. Again, it's something that you could do every Monday at 8:30 in the morning. And typically, the earlier we do it in the morning, because during the day we want to make sure we make the phone calls to potential clients, or doing those cold calls like Victoria's doing. Whatever you want to do, you want to make sure to be making phone calls. The more calls you make, the more likely you are to get business. And unfortunately, the best thing when you're very new to do this is making calls, making those either warm calls or cold calls, because overcoming objections is one of the skills that we need to develop. And if you have problems with certain questions, you keep getting this one thing that they keep saying, again, reach out to leadership, to ALC to see if they can help you with that. We all have different ideas and different things that have worked over time. And again, ask multiple people the same question. There's no harm in that. When we can help, all of us want to help. That'll help you close more deals and have more referrals, build confidence. That clients, there you go. Here's your compliance. Subscribe to the registry, update your call list regularly. And if I'm not mistaken, this stuff expires. Does it not, Nicole?
Yes. Nicole's on the phone, but I can't answer. Hello.
I think it's like every 10 years it expires. So they could be on there. They might say they are. And they might think they are, but they could be expired on their on the do not call registry.
They do. Yes. I don't know about the 10 years, but I know that they do. Yes.
Yeah, they expired. I don't remember. What
I don't
time
remember
frame is.
the exact timing. Yes.
Real play, lead generation, update contacts. Alrighty, any more questions? All right, Mariella, I think we're done. I don't have to think.
Okay. I'm like, okay, all right. Any comments? Anyone?
Comments, questions?
No. Okay, I will go ahead and stop the recording. David, do you have any comments? No?
Interesting.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, David, so much.
You're welcome, guys.
All right.
Thank you,
Any other
David.
questions you got, feel free to reach out to me. Leadership's got my emails. Phone numbers are available just about everywhere.
Yes, and also I know that actually Shaban, Chris, and Brenda all just joined, so it's all in the last page of the paperwork packet. David's number. That's the nice residential. That's the nice commercial guy I told you guys about. So yes.
Yep, I'm always here I'm always in my office. Doors right there.
Yeah,
Might be closed. Might be closed right now. It's just closed.
but it's always open. Yes.
Yes.
Great guy. Very tall, but great.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, David.
All
Appreciate it.
right. Thank you, David.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.